Hello Aries, welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I'm providing. Okay? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And there's a 3 of discs. This really is about your commitment, your hard work. Okay? So let's see where that's leading. We're going to do the rest of our Dove and Serpent spread. Already it's leading to some really wonderful things. As I lay these cards out, I also want to say that if there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. Okay. Finishing up the Dove and Serpent spread here. We have a lot of, I think, really good energy here. A little bit of challenge, perhaps, on the path of the serpent. Maybe not challenges, though, maybe opportunities. For the mystery card, the bonus card, the confirmation card, I would like to go with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. We don't take this one out of its home very often, so maybe it will do right by us today. All right. So we're just going to take one card at random, put it over here by my tea, and we're not going to look at it until the end of the reading. And hopefully that will tie everything together and give us the confirmation we need. So the first thing I want to point out, Aries, is that we have your patron card, excuse me, the Emperor card at the top of the path of the dove. This really is your week. I think the next 7 days you're going to see everything really falls into place for you. It's really, I think it's going to feel unbelievable. This card is the Emperor. This is at the top of the path of the dove. This card is ruling over every other energy, every other card that we see here today. Okay? So no matter what these cards are indicating to you, you're in control of this. Your own spiritual force is right out in front, driving this thing. All right? You really are taking the lead. You really are in control of this. And when I say you, I don't mean just your ego, your likes and your dislikes and your personality. I mean your real spirit, the real essence of you. Right? This is your week. This is going to be really amazing. First thing we saw was this 3 of discs. This, I think, is really your maybe your career, maybe the work that you're doing, maybe the creativity that you're doing, whatever you're focused on in your life is really lifting off. I like to look at this card as being kind of like one of those drones, with the fans at the bottom. And if all of those fans are spinning at the same speed, the same RPMs, that thing will lift up perfectly straight, right? If one or the other fan is a little bit slower or a little bit faster, well, thing's going to fall over. And this is you really putting in the right amount of effort into every aspect of this work that you're doing. Okay? There's not one thing that's getting too much attention, something else isn't getting enough. No, you're really balanced in this thing. You're doing just the right amount of work and energy and effort into each area, each component of this. This card is also your commitment to these things that you're doing. Okay? You have mind, body, soul, your emotions, your spirit is in this. You're 120% committed. Okay? And that is keeping all of these fans spinning at the same RPM. That's keeping everything going. So this thing can really lift off the ground in a perfectly balanced way. And it can rise extraordinarily high as you are willing to take it, right? Because you have the appropriate level of commitment and the right application of your energies. Okay? This card is also talking about you getting some recognition for this work that you're doing. This is, especially with these other cards here, this is really like, this is every aspect of this this situation, of this work that you're doing, if it's a project, if it's a career, if it's something that you're building, something at home, something in your work life, community organization, whatever it may be. Creative, artistic projects, music, books, whatever. Anything, really. Every aspect of this is going to exceed your expectations. It's better than you could have imagined. Everything is going to come together in such a beautiful way. I think it's going to blow your mind, honestly. And I think that's what this Tower card's doing over here. Everything is exceeding expectations. We'll get to that. 3 of Discs. People are going to notice you. People are going to notice how in control and in command you are, and how everything that you're doing you kind of got the Midas touch this week, okay? Let me just say it. Every aspect of this kind of turns to gold, okay? But remember, Midas also, his gift was also a curse, because everything he touched turned to gold, turned to solid metal, right? Couldn't eat it, couldn't touch his loved ones, right? Couldn't feed himself. Anything that he would touch would turn to gold. That sounds like a good thing. But there's a caution in there too. There's a caution in there. And I think the 3 here is also revealing your understanding of the delicacy of this thing, right? Like I said, it's just the right amount of effort, not too much. Just the right amount of commitment, not too much. Not too much that you are turning everything else in your life to stone, or to metal, I guess, right? You've got the Midas touch, but you also know when to, just put on some gloves or something and touch things delicately. The things that mean a lot to you in your life, because we do see this water energy, and that's where we're going next, is this water energy. And we're going to go right down here to this 9. You've always felt driven to pursue your happiness. You've always explored what happiness means, right? What does the pursuit of happiness look like? What would fulfillment of your purpose, of your aspirations, what would that look like to you? If you were doing your will, if you were pursuing your happiness, how would that feel? What would that look like? Okay? And this is not just talking about your career thing, this business thing, this work that you're doing. This is about family too. This is about your loved ones, either your blood family, your chosen family, your friends that feel like family, right? Could be your loved one, your spouse, your partner. Could be your pets. Could be your plants, right? It's those things around you that you cherish in your personal life that are close to your heart, that you don't want to turn them to gold or turn them to stone with this kind of hyper focus, this workaholic kind of attitude. So you have the understanding of that 3 of Discs. You know just the right amount of effort, and you know how to keep your loved ones, your pets, your plants, your people, close to you. They are what is meaningful. Your happiness, the pursuit of your fulfilling relationships and experience, that is what's important. So as soon as this situation stops fulfilling that need for you, I think you can easily abandon it. Okay? But right now, everything is in perfect alignment. We've got the 9 of Cups down here. So you've always been driven to pursue physical happiness, mental, emotional, spiritual fulfillment. These are very important to you. And if one or the other is lacking, then you feel that dysfunction and you work to correct it. And that again leads us back to this Emperor and this 3 of Discs. The right proportion of effort and energy, commitment, right? Putting in the right amount of hours, just enough that you need to make this thing just sing beautifully, right? Now, I want to talk about this 6 of Cups, because this is right. This is what the whole week is about. This ease, this harmony. It's going to be a really easy ride, you know? It feels like everything is in such alignment. These 6 cups here represent your love and commitment, your sense of purpose, your meaning, the kind of emotion that you are, well, emoting, right? The feeling that you're expressing, the water that you're giving forth into this work to your loved ones, your pets, your plants, your people, to the people around you, to the environment, the joy that you feel, and I think it's radiating from you this week. The universe is going to harmonize with you, right? It's almost like you're going to be in a bit of a duet. You're going to be singing with the universe. The universe is going to join in and sing with you, right? And the Six of Cups is such an ease. You know what I mean? Not that you don't have to put in the effort, but the effort is going to come naturally. The benefits of all of this are going to come naturally. Everything around you is going to resonate naturally. You're not forcing anything. You found just the right amount of energy and effort and commitment, and the right amount of personal, private, isolating in a way your loved ones, the things that you really cherish. I feel like you're keeping them safe, right? I feel like you're not trying to mix this work with your private life, your public life, or the daily toil. You're not bringing it home, right? You're able to return home and focus on those things that are meaningful in that environment, right? It's real harmony, real amazing harmony. Something like you've not experienced before. I think this is really something unique that you're going to be experiencing with this six. This is the perfect expression of this love, right? Of this kind of, this feeling that everything is just perfect right now. You know, like I think we've all maybe at some point in our life had a feeling, even if for just a split second, that, damn, everything feels perfect right now. You know, the sun is shining, the temperature's just right, the water looks just right, we have the right people around us, we're feeling just right, everything just seems perfect right now. Right? I think for you, that feeling is going to last for a while. Okay? I think you've hit that sweet spot where everything is singing your song. You know? Let's look at the recent past, because we see a 10 of discs in your recent past. This is a lot of wealth. This is what are the things that you've achieved that have meaning for you, right? I think that you've been putting in a lot of work, a lot of effort into this business, this project, this institution, this corporate, whatever you're doing. But you're not doing it just for the dollar, right? You're not doing it just for the physical rewards. You're doing it because it has heart, it has meaning for you. You're doing it because you are providing for your family or your loved ones in some way, right? Because they're a big part of your life. You are surrounding yourself with things that have meaning, things that have value. And I wouldn't be surprised if recently in your life you kind of cleared out your life, got rid of stuff that didn't really have any value to you. Maybe you had a garage sale, a rummage sale. Maybe you're thinking about doing that now. Getting rid of stuff that you don't need, that you don't have any attachment to, that has no value to you. And I'm not talking value like, well, that's worth some money, I'm going to keep it. No. What has value to you is what is worth your heart, what is worth your time. And maybe a sentimental value here a little bit, but I think more than that, it is what really feels like it is, it's a symbol of this harmony and resonance that you feel, right? So I think we're starting to reevaluate just the stuff that we have in our lives, maybe in your house, in your garage, the stuff that we have inside of us too, the ideas, the thoughts that we entertain, the the intellectual food that we consume, maybe the literal food that we consume, the emotional food that we consume. I think we are going through this, and this could have already started maybe a few days ago, but it could be something that's kind of really beginning now in earnest, you know? We're starting to clear away those things externally and internally that don't have value to us, that we don't need. So we're making room for the things that do have meaning, that do have value, right? And I think that's part of what's coming in the future, because I feel, especially through this Emperor energy, this Emperor energy is really the one who has this cool, calm, collected, confident energy that can say, you know, all of this stuff over here needs to go. All of this baggage, all of these issues, all of this emotion, all of this just turmoil and confusion and conflict that I'm holding on to, it can all go. Have that garage sale. Get rid of all this stuff. Make room in your head, your heart, and your garage for what's coming in, for these new goods, right? These new connections, these new rewards, opportunities. These are, this is new, physical goods, money and revenue. This is new experiences. This is new connections, new people. This is new problems too, new conflicts, sure. But this is, it's almost like this is a real passageway for you, what we have going on this week. And this pinnacle of resonance and harmony. Everything is singing your song, right? This feels like a new beginning kind of thing. Or it feels, at the very least, like you have found the secret passage behind the waterfall, right? And an unbelievable landscape, an unbelievable chamber, let's say, opens up before you, filled with riches beyond measure, beyond your wildest dreams. And again, not just physically, financially, but emotionally, spiritually. It's really an amazing week. It's going to be really, really tremendous. We see some of your Aries energy in action with this Prince of Wands here on the path of the Serpent now. And this is you really out there in the world. This is the first bit of air energy that we receive here today. The Prince of Wands, air of fire. So this is you really taking some of this Emperor energy, taking some of this Midas touch that you have, this energy, this commitment. You're really out there with this enthusiasm, with this joy and this happiness, doing stuff, right? You're really getting out there and making stuff happen, right? Because I think you realize that literally everything you put your effort into is going to be amazing. Everything is going to sing when you touch it, okay? So I think you're out there trying to do as much as you can, trying to get as many projects underway as you can. Get as many things maybe finished off that you can. Maybe you're really moving stuff out of the basement to stick it in the garage to have that yard sale, have that garage sale. This is a time, I think, for you to start projects and commit to new things, new projects. Because again, you have just the right amount of commitment, of energy, of effort. You know and you understand the need for balance between your personal life, the quality time with your loved ones, pets, plants, people, and your external business-like activities, right? It may not be your career or your employment, but just the things you do kind of outside the house, or that involve people outside the house, right? External things rather than the internal, the emotional, the family stuff, the quality time with loved ones. So I think it really is a time where you're going to want to get quite a few irons in the fire. It's a time of starting these new, very meaningful projects. They have to have meaning for you. That's really a key component here. is this Nine of Cups underneath it all. If it doesn't make you happy, if it's not leading toward some fulfillment of your spirit, then what's the point? Right? So that's what we have here, the beginning of new activities. And then we get to this Tower energy. Now this Tower energy was one that we probably kept looking at on the overhead and thinking, I don't like that. Is everything I just said kind of wrong and it's all going to crumble down? No, this is the Tower card. This is in your environment. I think this is really a lot of breakthrough. This is really a lot of exceeding expectations. This is a card of excess. This is a card of something that's been building pressure and building pressure like a volcano, right? Like this Aries energy that's just been building up and building up and building up. And then this is the release of it all. It's all starting to flow now. And I think that's why we've got this Emperor energy up here at the top, because you need that confident, cool, calm, collected, assertive energy to control this like explosion of fire energy, of creativity, of joy, of enthusiasm, of ambition, of this like chomping at the bit, ready to go start a million things. You've got to narrow it down a little bit. You've got to keep it under control as much as we can. But like I said at the beginning, this is a week that really is going to exceed your wildest dreams, beyond your expectations. This is a card of excess, of breaking through, of having a limit, having a boundary, and going beyond it, right? That line in the sand can't hold you back. No fences, no walls can hold you back, right? Not even the brick wall of this tower. This is a real, I think, astonishment, I think is a good word too, because I feel like things are just going to get better and better for you. That one moment is going to exceed the last. And you just think, well, if everything is perfect right now, things could not be any better. And then the universe says, hold my beer. I'm going to show you. Things are going to get one level better. So it's just that moment where you realize that there is no limit to your happiness. There is no limit to your success. Everything can be taken a step further, right? Everything that you thought you could attain, well, you need to start thinking a little higher, right? Set the bar a little higher. Wish for bigger, better things, right? You're only limited by your own imagination, and that's what we see next with this 10 of Swords. This is in the position of your fears and worries and concerns. This is breaking through the limits of our own imagination, our own, maybe not so much the imagination, but our own internal dialogue, telling us, well, this is as good as it gets. This is it. This is just absolutely perfect. We are restricting ourselves. We are fencing ourselves in. We're corralling our own energy, right? And kind of what we see next with the Four of Wands, a little bit of corralling the energy, but that's kind of a little bit different. With this, we are trying to really build a chain link fence around our ambitions and saying, this is it, this is, I'm not going to try to push it any further. I'm good right here, right? But we've got that Tower energy pushing us forward, breaking down that chain link fence. Chain link, come on. It's not going to stop it. It's not going to stop you. So this is really us getting beyond our own mental limitations for what we can achieve, for what we want to achieve, for what our goals and aspirations are. We got to just hop over that chain link fence. It's just chain link. Finally, though, on the path of the Serpent, we have this Four of Wands. This is corralling the fire a little bit. These wild horses, we've got them corralled now, okay? This is taking the fire and building some stones around it so that it has a place to live and flourish and, well, illuminate and warm us, right? To do its thing, to burn. That's fire's nature, is to burn, right? And in the process of burning, it gives off light and heat. Well, that's good for us, and good for our pets and our plants and our people. But the difference with this, we're not just corralling our creativity. We're not just fencing ourselves in. This is a wheel. So it's almost like we're chambering our coals. We're taking that fire. We're not letting it go out. Fire needs to burn, right? That's what fire does. So we're taking it with us. We're keeping it somewhere safe, and we're moving forward, right? Because this is a wheel. This isn't just a flat, campfire, a ring of stones with fire in the middle. Because that's stationary. It's a temporary thing, right? It's a temporary campsite. We're going to just burn up our creativity here. Fire's going to go out, and then we're going to wander on. What if we take the coals with us? What if we take this fiery energy with us? And rather than staying here, setting up camp here where we are, and kind of running out the clock, and then moving on, let's just keep moving. Let's do different things. Let's put our creativity into more, right? Let's keep that fire going. Let's take that coal with us and make many campfires. We don't just have to have one. Fire dies out, we get back on the horse and we keep going. We can take this fire with us for the next campfire, for the next temporary resting place. Because this is a wheel. This is indicating motion, but this is indicating the creative energy manifesting, right? And it's not manifesting and then the creative fire is gone, and then we're left cold and dark, and then we've got to grope around in the dark for what's coming next. No, we're taking that fire with us. So we'll always have it. And now we can choose what we're going to put that creativity into. I'm going to see what that mystery card is. Let's see. Rider-Waite-Smith. There's some majors. We got this earth. A lot of the really good earth energy here. And we got the water, we got the fire, a little bit of air. I think it should be another major arcana card. Honestly, is kind of what I'm banking on here. But it could very well be a little bit more of the air energy. Okay, well let's find out. Yeah, here's the two of Swords. So this it relates to this Ten of Swords that we saw, right? We're trying to jump over that chain link fence. We don't want to fence ourselves in. We don't want to limit our imagination, our creativity, our aspirations, our goals, right? We don't want to keep them too narrow. We can literally shoot for the stars, right? Unlimited. So with the two here, this is now about trying to use a different mode of perception, right? We can't rely on logic to say, okay, logically, I know that I can accomplish anything that I can imagine, anything I set my mind to, right? We're going to run into some very circular kind of logic here. We're going to start convincing ourselves that we can't do it, reasons why that's an illogical statement, that everything has a limit. How could we possibly, exceed where we are now? How could things possibly get any better? Before we know it, we're into like a 7 or an 8 or even a 9 of Swords, and we don't want that. So we are not relying on our intellect, our rational, logical thinking. We have to perceive through different means. And when we make choices, we're not just making choices based on what's the most logical step. We've tried that, and we shouldn't completely abandon logic. But we have to open ourselves up to a new form of perception, right? A new form of gathering information and evaluating a situation. And that's why this figure here is blindfolded. It's not enough to just look and assess the situation, because looking at it, yeah, you should stay here, enjoy what you have. This is a nice, safe place. You've got a lot of success. A lot of good things are going on right now. Don't try to do anything different. Don't think outside the box. Just do this, right? This is safe. This is a good bet. That's how it looks. But if we close our eyes and we try to perhaps listen or feel or sense what's around us, and maybe what Spirit is trying to tell us, trying to show us in images not coming in through the eyes, but coming up from the heart, from the Spirit, we would make different choices, right? We may make some of the same choices, but we're opening ourselves up to new opportunities, to different ways of looking at situations. So I think this is a very poignant confirmation card. That we got to get out of this kind of logical thinking and understand, because we started out with understanding, right? With this 3 of discs. You understand the amount of effort required for everything. Not too much, not too little, perfect proportion, balance. You have a working understanding of this earth energy from the 10 to the 3 to the ace, creating new opportunities, new investments, new projects, new work, new relationships, new income, new revenue, new benefits, all of it. And the way you do that is not by limiting yourself through logic, but by listening to that whisper, listening to the wind, feeling the energies, using your gut, your heart, your intuition, using your higher connections, spirit, God, goddess, deity, whatever you want to call it. Other forms of perception are very important to you. And I think that this card is a reminder of that, because in our imagination, we are unlimited. There's no limit to what you can imagine. So we can't let our rational mind say, yeah, that may be true, but in practice, there is a very hard limit. Okay? Because we know that this tower energy is taking us beyond limits. Beyond limits. So I think we need to keep that in mind. We're going to jump over to the extended, and if you want to stick around, please click on the link that's right up here. You can have access to all of the extended readings, okay? This was your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Aries, thank you so much for letting me read for you.